Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Telegraph. It was published on June 29th. It's written by Olivia Ruggard, and I love this. She's the social affairs correspondent. And what's fucked up is they're trying to push this thing that kids should have the same exact rights as adults when they don't, in determining shit in regards to them, when they don't have the cognitive and intellectual abilities at that point to do so. So here's the left in Europe pushing this, and here's the UN saying, oh yeah, parents doing certain things are violating their kids' human rights. And it's complete fucking bullshit. It really is. It goes to show what cultural Marxism does to the world. Because this has come out of cultural Marxism. This isn't out of the traditional, nuclear family way of doing things. Far from it. Let's get into this article. Because Olivia is a fucking real piece of work. The Telegraph is a real piece of work. And the UN is a real piece of work. For putting this shit out there as like something that is an actual thing, is an issue. Parents who share pictures of their children on social media are putting their human rights at risk, the United Nations has warned. How are they putting their human rights at risk? They are minors, okay? That means they are in the custody of an adult. That means the adult has say on what is what. Their human rights are the ones that are like basic. I mean, I kind of, being a libertarian, 1950s U.S. style libertarian, that tends to be, they tend to be very, very much like the founding fathers were. Like myself. A human right is like freedom of speech, things like that. And the thing is, you're in their home, you go by their fucking rules. That's how it should be. See, they're trying to make it so that kids can fucking run roughshod over parents and fucking tell them what they're going to be doing. That's what this comes down to by saying, oh, their human rights are being violated over stupid fucking shit. Because they get this, they'll take a fucking mile after that. The UN Special Reporter, Joseph Kanatsi, I'm butchering that, said that strong guidelines were needed to preserve the rights of children whose parents upload a video and images of them. What? Excuse me, guidelines? They're the fucking parents. Get the fuck out of their homes. Shut the fuck up. You're probably some fucking dude who's never fucking had kids. Seriously. Because, heaven forbid, fucking parents actually have say over their own goddamn fucking children these days. Oh, that's right. The UN, like the cultural Marxist fucking shit going on in general, kind of doesn't believe that parents have rights to dictate what they feel is best for their children or things of that nature. During a mission to the UK to assess the privacy situation, he also found that kindergarten-age children were being surveilled using CCTV at school and in their bedrooms. In their bedrooms? Really? Are we talking like a child monitor and you're calling it CCTV? Because I know, you do have the video monitors now. And the thing is, they're talking about this, and they're trying to push this kid thing. In a fucking nation that has more CCTV cameras than any place on the fucking planet. Anyone find this fucking hypocritical and a bunch of bullshit just to push this narrative that fucking kids should dictate to their parents? I mean, because that's how this is coming across, is that type of situation where they're trying to make it so kids can dictate to their fucking parents. Because we're literally talking about the country, as I just said, that has the most CCTV cameras on the fucking planet. And they're trying to act like, oh yeah, well, the kids shouldn't be doing this. Well, what about the adults? I don't hear you fucking coming out about these adults having CCTV cameras all up their fucking ass. It's the fucking kids here because we're trying to push an agenda. At a press conference on Friday, he suggested that there could be a rising number of cases involving children who argue their rights have been infringed because their parents had posted videos and images of them on the internet. How? If the picture's taken in the parents' fucking home, the kids have no fucking right to privacy. If it's taken out in public, the kid has no fucking right to privacy. Fuck them. Get bent. Your parents are your parents. You don't like it? Fuck off. Trust me, there are embarrassing pictures of me that I would wish never saw the light of day. Good example. Being a child born in 1975, certain things were still in vogue fashion-wise. So picture a a little 2-year-old in a baby blue leisure suit with a butterfly collar shirt and brown Dexter shoes on. Do you think I want that picture, even around? Do you think I want the negatives or a copy of it or anything to even exist? Fuck no. Okay? And my mother has shown that picture to girlfriends. Alright, years ago, just to fucking irk me. She knew how much I hated the picture. But you're so cute in it. Yeah, but I don't like it. And when your girlfriends know that, they take advantage of it and won't give you shit. But you know what? I sucked it up and dealt with it. If kids can't deal with shit like that, you know what? They're too fucking soft. They want, you look at each preceding generation. They get weaker and weaker and weaker and more fucking, like, bitchy. And we're at the point of where, like, with soy and fucking everything else, we've got the bitchiest generation yet. No, I don't want that picture of me on the internet. Yeah. How do you deal with parents who insist on taking a video of their kids every single day and posting it on YouTube every single day? It's none of your fucking concern. It is none of your fucking concern. They're the parent. You're not. You're not the guardian of that child. Fuck off. We've already seen the very first cases of kids suing their parents because of the stuff they have posted on Facebook about them, he said. And if I was the fucking judge, I would have laughed that fucking kid out of court. I would have laughed right in his fucking face and said, or her face and said, you know what? Grow a thicker fucking skin. Deal with it. In 2016, an Austrian teenager sued her parents in an effort to force them to remove childhood pictures of her from Facebook, arguing they were embarrassing and in a violation of her privacy. How the fuck are they in a violation of her fucking privacy? Excuse me. She's a minor. She has no right to say on that note. Her guardian does. She's just a fucking whiny little leftist fucking feminazi bitch who is trying to show her parents that she's in charge, which is what this article is trying to push. That kids should be in charge of shit when it involves them. No, that's not how it works, as I've already said. Kids don't have the cognitive or intellectual ability to be making decisions about themselves at that age. Maybe they, some input on it, but they shouldn't be dictating shit. He said some nurseries were using their CCTV cameras as a selling point for anxious parents to check what's going on. Oh my fucking God. When there has been, over the years, and I don't want to, by putting it this way, because I'm not sensationalizing, but I also don't want to minimize it. When you have, over the years, case after case after case after case after case, here, throughout the UK, in the UK, Europe, the United States, of nurseries, where you have nursery schools, where they are abusing the fucking children. You would think this fuckwad, who's obviously never had kids, would think that maybe having fucking cameras in the school would be a good idea. Because then there's no way for, well, hopefully there is no way for the individual that's smacking a kid around or molesting them or doing some vile, disgusting shit to them, whatever it is, you know, there's no way for them to get away with it. But yet this stupid fuck is going, oh, they shouldn't have cameras there. And why shouldn't a parent be able to check up on their fucking kids? Ultimately, they're the ones responsible for the well-being of that child. In the case of a nursery school, they were the ones who made the choice to put that kid in that particular nursery school. They shouldn't have a right to be able to check whenever they want, whenever they see fit, to make sure that they made a good choice and that their kid is not getting smacked around or fucking anally raped by truck driver, former, wannabe. We'll say wannabe because if they had already done it, they would either be dead or in prison. Wannabe drivers of trucks of peace. I mean, heaven forbid, if they start getting into the whole nursery school child care thing. And you're trying to make it sound like that's a bad thing. That there's cameras there. It's disgusting. This has been fueled further by all the reports we've seen of abuse of patients in care homes and people being caught on CCTV, and sometimes the same allegations have been made about children's facilities, he added. So wait a minute. He's admitting that these CCTV cameras have fucking caught shit, and if it wasn't for them, it would have still been ongoing, or these people would not have been brought to justice. But he's trying to say, oh, well, kids, being under cameras, we can't have that. This is literally about making it so that children have power over their parents. This is cultural Marxism at its finest. Let's make it sound like it's about their human rights being violated, and we'll make it so that they can actually dictate to the parents. That's what this is about. Mr. Sanastasi, whatever the fuck this fucking shitbag's name is, said that children require increased protection from companies who collect and share their data, but his investigation had not yet established whether new legislation was required. Whoa, wait a minute. So the UN's trying to dictate in the UK here, number one. Number two, they're now talking about the idea of companies collecting and sharing the data of these children, which this has nothing to do with. They just throw this in at the end to try to justify have the ends justify the means. Under a false pretense, because this is not what they're actually doing. This is not about protecting the children. This is about the state saying they have more say over the child. This is about the child making it so that the child has more say over the parent. It's fucking wrong. It's vile. It's disgusting. He also criticized Home Office plans to prosecute people who repeatedly view extremist material online, arguing that prosecuting people for looking is close to creating a thought crime. This is the only thing this fucking halfwit I agree with on. Only thing. Which makes me wonder what he's going to label as extremist content, because being the leftist that he is, trying to make it so that kids can fucking dictate to their parents and shit like that, that just makes you wonder, because I bet you if you asked him, oh, well, what about the Daily Stormer? And I'm not advocating the Daily Stormer with that. I'm just choosing something that's out there as known extreme on the note of what these people view as, like, extremist. Or extremist. If he was approached with that, I'd be like, oh, this is a different story, this is a different story. And he'd probably say, oh, well, there's certain limits to that extremist material. So, anyway, as a libertarian, I believe on the note of an adult. We're talking a minor here. Okay? If my parents didn't dictate to me, they listened to my input, but ultimately they made the final decision, I'd probably be a little shitbag. I've seen a lot of kids who grew up where they were the rule of the roost, and they turned out to be complete and total fuck-ups and shitbags. And that's what this is going to lead to. When kids can dictate to their parents and they can get away with whatever the fuck they want because, parent don't want to be afraid about violating their kid's human rights by giving them a fucking bedtime. Oh, parents don't want to worry about violating a kid's rights by, telling that they can't go to a particular place. That's what this is going to lead to. This is the first step of that. This is cultural Marxism at work. This is about saying that the state has domain over your child and that your child can dictate what they want in their life. Because if they can say that the state has more power over the child, it weakens the parent's influence and control over the child. It allows for the cultural Marxists to come in and exploit this. Well, you can dictate, your own direction and all this other shit as a child, manipulate them, and have them thinking that they're making these choices themselves. That's the whole point of this shit. Anyway, I think I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.